I'm willing to delve into because I feel like there's a whole lot of back end, front end, back and forth, and that's
And
not
that's
my
something
forte
we're
right
going to do
now.
justice to
Yeah.
when the CTO is going to be telling us about what it means.
Yes, but for creatives, I think I've seen a few people sell off things and the positive side to it for them, but I'm not sure I'm ready for that experience yet because I feel like there's a whole lot of things to do to set myself up for that. So
Great.
that's it.
We'll break your fear today. Thank you so much for the honest feedback. All right, so those are the feedback I want to have today. I don't want you to give the just sweet side of the story. Let's know exactly what the raw thing. I'm also a victim. I used to be a victim of that. Somebody dashed me one Bitcoin. I think about 10 years ago. Then somebody shared this experience with me too. That he had one Bitcoin and he just used it for charity, like I think 2016. So when you understand, so it was like bullshit. For me, I wrote a journal about Bitcoin. I did a projection, but nevertheless, I'm always countering it that I didn't want to. In my mind, any time that I sleep, that thing haunts me. That if by knife only, you are not just very, very stupid. You should have done this. Right? We had a generation of web. So it's an iteration processes. And then we had Web 2. And then now we're in Web
Good
3.
morning, everyone.
So imagine
My name
that
is Tulokwe Bankole
you had
I'm the
an
Project
internet
Management
facility,
stroke evaluation
internet infrastructure
manager.
where you can only read, just like your
So,
PDF
my assignment basically today is to
document that
introduce
says
Uniccon
read only.
to you officially.
There's some editable, sorry,
To our product
some
development.
MS Word document that says
At the
read
right to
only.
have you
You
here
cannot
to our
edit it.
online
And at that point in time, we
very-
experienced
thank
it. We can
you.
only see what the internet was giving to
Alright,
us.
so
But then you get
the
to a
next few
particular
minutes,
time,
I
we
will
were
just
able
be
to
taking you
read
through this slide.
and to also write on the Web 2, right? So it gives us opportunities to be
Uniccon
able to
Group, I know
upload
we
data.
all
You can
heard about
upload
Uniccon
stuff
Group
on your YouTube. You can
at one
interact.
point or the
You
other.
do not only
You've heard
can
about
read,
Mobile
but you can
West
also
African
what
River North.
edit
You've heard about our
and upload.
Exploring
And that's what Web
capacity.
2 gave us.
Okay, so Unicorn
And now we came to Web 3.
Global market
And then he's
focused
telling us that you
organization
can
that is into general
read,
technology.
you
We
can
develop
write,
products and services
and you can
that are
take ownership.
innovative to help enhance different
And that's it.
organizations.
And that's where we are.
Okay,
I don't
so
know
we
what
are
Web 4 is
committed
going to be all
building
about,
Africa's economy through innovative
but I tell you, it's
technology
not
and
ending.
solutions. We combine
And that's
both
what technology
world-class
is all about.
expertise,
I do appreciate all of our feedback
modern tools
and then all of
to
our
achieve
contributions. And at the time that the C2
Okay,
is
so
going
we
to
are
be
unique
giving,
because we enable corporate entities,
talking about the product
government
itself,
agencies,
which we are
SMEs,
launching
that's small,
today,
medium
I believe we'll have a
enterprises,
better
and
understanding of what the
individuals
blockchain
to
system is all
enhance
about.
efficiency.
Before
We
then,
also,
I want to
our mission
acknowledge
is to
again
build
the
Africa's
people
economy through
joining us
innovative
on Zoom.
technology. Then our
Anybody with
vision is
comment
to
on
enhance
Zoom,
African businesses
YouTube,
and people to achieve their full potential
Zoom,
by
YouTube, any
providing
comment on that?
access to the most
Please
innovative
notify me if we have anything on
technological
that.
tools out
Thank you.
there.
So at this point,
Our values includes integrity for
I'll be
prosperity,
inviting on the
professionalism
podium
for growth, value
to share with us the
for
overview
appeal, and collaboration
of
for
Smart
synergy.
Afri Lab, story behind the project, and of course, the project
Alright.
itself.
According
Join
to
me as a
David,
welcome
several products
engineer Eva Esegi.
from
Thank you
the
so much.
hospital
Round of
management
applause.
tool to our e-market platform to our profiling tools. So just quickly, I'll just take you through them. We have the Smart Afri e-marketplace, which is an e-market
Good morning,
platform.
everyone.
Though
I'm the
we are
CTO
promoting
for
African
Uniccon Group of
products,
companies.
the market is global.
First of all, I
So
want to
if
thank
you have
everyone for
any product
taking out
that
time
you
out
have
of their
built
busy schedule to be
ingeniously,
here.
you can actually come to our platform and sell it to the world. So in
It's
that
truly an
setup,
honor,
which
and I
includes
deeply
efficient
appreciate your
logistics, rate
presence
converter, you can use it to
in our
convert
launch and in our event.
currency. Peradventure you
So,
want to buy goods in Kenyan
I know a lot of us have
and
heard about
you
the
pay in
blockchain
naira.
technology,
You
we've
can
heard about
convert the
Web3,
shillings to the naira
its
equivalent.
benefits, its
We also
downside.
have our safe payment system that
There
has
was a
been
very
integrated into
recent
it. Makes
event,
your
I think
transaction
that last
faster.
year,
We have a variety of products
where in a
ranging from
popular show
fashion accessories
called Squid
to
Game.
blockchain
Right? This is one of
products,
the
NFTs,
downsides. I'll start with that first.
ebooks,
Called
and
Squid
likes of
Game,
it.
came up,
Then under our smart Medicare,
and
that's the
people were
hospital
able to
management
key into
system
it
too. It
in
allows
an
for
illegal way,
inpatient registration,
and were able to sell
boarding,
tokens
and
and
billing. You will
steal
agree with
almost
me that
$3 million.
if you have gone to
from
an
general
hospital
public.
that still uses the
That happened
regular
sometime
traditional
in
means of
in
attending to their
October.
customers. You know, it can be very
I can't really
frustrating,
remember
right?
exactly.
So
But
what
that's
we
one of
do
the
is to
downsides
produce-
of the blockchain
to develop
technology.
this product such
right?
that
But
once you walk into any clinic,
when we
or
hear
into any
blockchain, we
general
think
hospital,
crypto.
you can have
It's
them
not
attend
crypto.
to you
There's so much more.
seamlessly without stress.
The
It
idea of
allows
blockchain
for
is to give power
consultation,
back to the people.
inventory,
That's why we go
pharmacy
for
and
decentralization.
stock, outpatient payment and
If
processing,
we've heard about
vital
the recent
tracking,
incident
and so much
in
more. For
the
our
fall
smart team,
of
at Smart is
the
like a
regular
profiling-
financial
a
system,
profiling tool.
right? We've heard of Silicon Valley Bank completely disappeared, and it happened because of mismanagement of funds. There's something called reserve lending, right? It's supposed to be existent back to in the banking industry in the United States. So what happens is you are not supposed to lend too much of your reserve funds so that you will have backup in case your bank goes into crisis. But what happens is a lot of banking institutions that are not the big banks, what they are allowed to do is they can borrow up to 90% of the funds that they have. So if I come in and I deposit $100 in the banking industry in the United States. So if I come in and I deposit $100 in a bank in the US, it basically means that they can lend out $90 from that. And they can keep doing that over and over and over again, basically getting money from thin air. So in order to combat this, decentralization was created with Bitcoin. So if I started with Bitcoin, Bitcoin is the father of decentralization. So is we wanted to create a system, or Satoshi wanted to create a system wherein everybody had a stake, had power, had decisive authority in the creation of a financial system. So that was the idea of Bitcoin, giving power back to the people to prevent issues like what happened with Silicon Valley Bank from constantly happening to the general public. So in Uniccon Group, we decided that this technology goes far beyond cryptocurrency. It goes far beyond finance. And we said, let's create a system, an ecosystem that caters to the African community. Bitcoin was not created with Africa in mind. And when we go into other cryptocurrency or blockchain products, they are not created with the African community in mind. For example, I'm sure some of us have heard what the metaverse is. I'll give a brief insight. The metaverse is simply a virtual playground, right? And when you use the metaverse, you notice that technology is there, buildings, clothing, assets, attires are not tailored to the African community. You see suits, you see t-shirts, jeans, etc. But you never see the African attires. It never comes into play. So we said, okay, how do we incorporate the African culture into the blockchain ecosystem? And that is the steps we have here. And a brief overview of why Smart Afri Labs exists. It was born out of the need to create a blockchain ecosystem that represents the African values and cultures, which is what we have strived to do. In order to achieve that, we have created some groups of products, but we'll go into that later. So I'll just give an insight into the valuation of the cryptocurrency market. Currently, the cryptocurrency market is valued at $1.1 trillion. But the only percentage that Africa can tap into is less than 5%, about 4.7% or thereabout, of a $1.1 trillion market. So it's very minuscule compared to the audience, compared to the crowd in Africa. And this is one of the major issues we are trying to solve. So to do that, we created an ecosystem that is interconnected and that piggybacks off each other. So the products in our Smart Afri Lab ecosystem are as follows. We have an NFT marketplace which allows you to create NFTs, non-fungible tokens, that are unique to each individual. So if you are placing a token on the NFT marketplace, it's unique to you and only you. It's like having a digital fingerprint attached to an asset that is interconnected. This is very useful piggybacks off in several situations. For example, we can create products NFTs and attach them to housing. So if you are, we have an NFT marketplace. If you are buying a plot of land, you also have a non-fungible token attached to that land that shows your ownership of that property. So that before you can sell that land to anybody, you must also transfer that asset. So it prevents things like, you know, a lot of time we hear stories of people going to court over land. It happens every other day. So someone buys a land, maybe in Banana Island, and then it's being sold to 3-4 different persons, and they all go to court to fight. Right? So if we have a system of this nature, you attach every piece of asset, every property to a non-fungible token. And then before that asset is being transferred, you have to ask for a token. Okay, transfer this token to me to show that this is fully my property. So that is one of the many applications of NFTs. And we have the Smart Afriverse. So the beauty all goes to court to fight. A lot of time people look at the metaverse as a failed project. I say that because Meta, that is former Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg put so much resources into creating the metaverse. They even changed their name from Facebook to Meta to show you how, how vigorous he was about the project. But now he has taken a step back. He has tried everything, and it seems like nothing is working out for him. Yes, some of it is because of people don't really like Facebook, people are being honest. You know, they see it as a corporate organization that is hell-bent on just taking money and giving nothing back, right? So even though that is one of the issues, the major issue, I believe, from my experience, is he did not have a team that believed in his dream. On the Facebook and Meta Oculus Quest forum, you see people talk about it. Even the project builders don't say anything good about the project. So I think he genuinely needed to take a step back and rebuild that project from ground up. But notwithstanding, he is just one aspect, right? The metaverse has so many other uses. For example, one of the unique features we have is that sellers on our e-marketplace over here, Meta Oculus Quest forum, can have their store, their shop, their organization set up in our metaverse. So when you are buying physical products, you're also buying virtual products that you can use in your own house, in your own playground, your own office, whatever it is it may be. So we can create an interaction digitally that doesn't require people to come in and click on another all the time. You know, there's the issue, there's remote work exploding. You know, the remote work market has really exploded over the years. And having a situation like you cannot reach out to your colleagues is one of the deterrents of remote work. But if you have a system wherein you have your workspace, your colleagues can come in and you see them virtually, so you can actually see the liveliness. If this person is sleeping, you know that the sleeping person is dilly-dallying in the workspace. You actually know that as well. So we're trying to incorporate that into our Smart Afriverse system, which we have successfully done so far. So next on the list is our Smart Afri chain. I'm sure a lot of us have heard of Ethereum. Ethereum was the first smart contract blockchain, allow people to products on the blockchain. You develop your dApps, your decentralized application, your DAOs, whatever else it may be. Develop projects for the blockchain, that is Web3 projects. So in the same vein, we are creating a system that will allow smart developers focusing strictly on African products, African services to build on the blockchain, which is Smart Afri chain. And we're going to be able to groom you. We're not just going to tell you, oh, build on our chain and leave you. No, we are building a community as well that will teach you, that will nurture the developers to build solutions that will cater to a large audience, cater to the general public, cater to Africa as a whole. So it's part of what we are doing on Smart Afri chain. And it's what we have so far. We have a wait list of developers who are willing to come in and build projects even as we speak. So Smart Afri chain is going to be the crowning achievement, and it's going to link every other product together. And lastly, I did touch on the Smart Afri e-market, but I'm going to buttress on it a little bit. So think having a system like eBay, having a system like AliExpress, but this is solely focused on African authentic goods and services. The slogan for Smart Afri is Africa to the world. So we want to showcase that, yes, in as much as a lot of people feel nothing good comes out of Africa, we have products, we have services that we can sell to the world, and the world can take part of it and utilize them to the highest degree. So the crowning achievement is having a Smart Afri e-marketplace integrate with all our Web3 solutions seamlessly to achieve one single goal. But this is solely focused on African authentic goods and services. So what are the objectives and goals of Smart Afri Labs? So we have three major objectives that we look to achieve. The first one being an increased stake. Now, Africa's stake in the blockchain market, like we saw, is less than 5%. And one of the major goals of Smart Afri Labs is to increase that stake to at least 25% by 2027. So we are going to push train developers, currently having a free training every Saturday for developers to come in and learn how to build products on the blockchain. So everybody here can actually join in that training at any time from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. The free training. So we're trying to build that community as much as we can. And it's going to tie into our goal of having at least 25% of the market share of the blockchain world by 2027. The next is more developers, which I also brought up initially. So we want to produce competent engineers to build Web3 solutions. I remember as of 2017, when I got into the blockchain technology, we had very few developers, right? I had a friend who wanted to build a project, South Africa, and he had to go and pay developers in China to build that project for him. But things have really changed over the years. We have developers, blockchain engineers all over the country, all over the continent. And our goal is to help those aspiring developers. People see blockchain as something that is too complicated. I think I heard one of our attendees mention that just in passing. And honestly, it's really not complicated. What it needs, as well as every other thing in this world, is dedication. Once you have the dedication and the zeal to achieve this goal, to learn this technology, it's 100% achievable. So all we need to do is we're finding people that are dedicated and we're giving them this knowledge. Take this knowledge, go and build products, build services that will be valuable to the continent, and then bring finances to yourself. And lastly, our final goal is to drive adoption. So we provide extensive blockchain knowledge to equip the continent and drive adoption. Basically, any program that has insight on the blockchain technology in Africa, in Nigeria, we are 100% there. We want to make the technology as easy and to understand and assimilate as possible. It's our major goal. People need to understand that there is use for the blockchain besides cryptocurrency, besides the losses that the market causes. I think the market really plummeted in November, and a lot of people lost funds. I get calls even up to today, oh, this is how much I lost, this is how much I lost. But even in that situation, there are people that did make money nonetheless. So our goal is to drive adoption as much as we can. And finally, we have an opportunity here for everyone to become a part of this project. We are growing a community, we are growing a brand, and we want as many hands on board as possible. We're not just talking about finances, we need intellectual hands. If you have the knowledge, you have the skills, you can use to grow this community, grow the blockchain system in Africa. You are more than welcome to join us. All you have to do is go to Smart Afri Labs and sign up as a partner. Drop your details there. We're going to contact you. And if you have insights, if you have knowledge that you want to share with us. So thank you very much. This was a brief overview on Smart Afri Labs. Appreciate your time. You are more than welcome to join us. All you have to do is go to Smart Afri Labs and sign up as a partner. Drop your details there. We're going to contact you. And if you have insights, if you have
okay, so moving forward,
knowledge that you want to share with us.
I would like to acknowledge the presence of some of the important. Everyone is important, but then we have some special guests and misters that we would like to recognize. First on my list, representatives from NITDA. We have, if you are here, please just wave your hands. We have Blessing Daniel. But then we have some special. Please, Rano, thank you for coming. We also have Amina Bilal Bulama. Thank you for coming. These are representing our engineer. We have Crips. If you are here, please we also have our special speaker for today, Mr. John Paul Nwobodo. Thank you for coming. A round of applause for Mr. John Paul. We also have we've got representatives for the NCS president. We have Bayo Onimode. Thank you so much for coming. Also have Hawa Abubakar, our special speaker for today. All right, she stepped out. And then again, we have Sango Sunday. A round of applause for Thank you. We also have we've got representatives for the NCS president, Engineer Elvis Obi, being represented by Ogene Ogbodo Neke. It's the essay to the Enugu State Governor on Science and Technology. Please, if you're here, sir, we would like you to identify yourself. I think he stepped out, but he was around. We have Mr. Saint Effium, the CEO, Marino Groups. Mr. Saint, you're welcome. Engineer Elvis Obi. And we also have Yinka Adebinkwe, one of our top real estate developers around here. Thank you so much. We have a product for you. All of your real estate documents, right? The deed of assignment, let's tokenize them for you. It's the new lead. Yeah. And for everyone that I've failed to mention, subsequent times, we will identify with us. To this end, we'd like to further one of our top developers around here. Thank you so much. Go to the next on the agenda. Join me with a round of applause as I invite to the podium the speaker, Mr. John Paul Nwobodo, as he comes forward. For everyone that I've failed to mention, subsequent times, we will identify with us. To this end, we'd like to further go to the next.
Thank you so much
Thank you, John.
for this opportunity. And
with a round of applause as I
would also want to give a special mention to Mr. Eval. Yeah, we met when Cardano hosted a program here in Abuja. So for context, I'm John Paul Nwobodo, and I'm an investment analyst with Adevas. So I don't know how many of you guys have heard of Adevas. Okay, only a few persons. Yeah, we do a lot of things, but it's quite on the ground. But you guys have heard of Cardano blockchain. Awesome. So Adevas is like a $100 million blockchain focused fund. We are like the venture arm of Cardano in Africa. So for context, so since inception, and that was late 2021, and I'm an investment analyst. We've been able to invest in over 30 African startups. So I don't know how many of you guys some of the startups that you guys know. Bitmama. Okay, only few. I don't know. Have you guys heard of Bitmama? Good. We've done Afropolitan. Some guy actually dragged online the other day. They said, how can people be people like that? But Afropolitan is trying to build a digital nation. I think that's what venture should be all about anyway. It's all about funding audacious ideas. Like people are trying to tokenize lands, deeds of assignment and all those kind of things. So this is what's actually venture. I don't know. Have you guys heard of Big Mama? But then, yeah, for context, I'll just tell you a little story. Before I became an investor, I mean, not investor, crypto investor, I mean, the proper venture capitalist investor, I was actually a founder. Built out a couple of products, but one thing, only the first one seems to be running. Started out the second one, food delivery, failed. Built another one, blockchain, that is supposed to enable people democratize access to investment. So, for example, people are actually allowed to bet, but people are not allowed to invest in companies. Now, for you to invest in companies, they expect you to be a certified investor. You must have certain amount of, but you still allow people to put in their $500 into betting and they lose that money. Yes, exactly. So the idea was simple: to actually enable people use their $20, $10, invest in high-flying startups across Africa, even the world, and then you gain an NFT in return that present your ownership in the company. That was actually what the CEO was stating earlier, ownership. That's actually what blockchain was all about. But the idea was flawed because the NFT is supposed to be fungible. So, and in terms of shares, people can keep creating different shares, like class A, class B, primary shares, common shares. So that was actually how the idea failed. Built out a couple of launchpads backed by KCC. That was where I encountered security for the first time. Yeah, they backed us and we lost $200,000. I'm super ashamed saying that, but these are my processes. And then I asked myself, you've been building, you couldn't even raise. The little you did, you messed up in terms of security. Now, what is it that people are doing different in order to be backed? I said, okay, let me be a VC. I messaged the woman in my LinkedIn page, and she was like, okay, I will train you. I joined her. And after a while, so I started out my career as an investment analyst at First Circle. Then we did a lot of investments across e-commerce, health tech. I actually came from a health background. I went to medical school, but that's still fun. So we did those investments before I now decided to move into full blockchain investment. But then on part-time, I'm like an associate at Proximity VC. Just early stage investment, $15,000 to $25,000 checks, but Edivas do from $50,000 to $400,000 and go up as high as $2 million, depending on the traction and then the nature of the project involved. So I think I've literally taken out enough time to even tell you guys stories about my life, but that's over it. Please, my deck. So we did those investments before I now decided to move into full blockchain investment. But then on part-time, I'm like an associate. Yeah, so I'll be speaking on blockchain for financial growth in Africa. I think this is one of my favorite topics, and I would also tell you why. Because I've literally taken out enough time people build from something, like from nothing to something, just because it's powered by blockchain. I've seen systems, intermediaries, about 5 to 6 intermediaries removed from the picture, just because of blockchain. So people have lost their jobs because of blockchain, but people have also gained more. Wealth, access to wealth has been democratized just because of blockchain. So I'll give you a context. Currently, as of 2021, there are about 171 million bank accounts in Africa. I've seen systems. 2022, we've got 456 bank accounts in Africa. But Africa has over 1 billion population. Means over 60 to 66% of us are still unbanked. If you're still building fintech, please, I'm not throwing banter right now. But I still feel like the majority of our fintechs are just recycling users. I mean, they keep banking the unbanked, but who is really banking those in the informal sector? It's not just working. So what they do is literally, they keep recycling the 1 million users who are using Coda. Some of you guys have over 2 to 3 payment apps. 4, I've got Go Money, I've got OPay. You understand? That's just for me. And then not to talk of other people. Then 66% of adults in Africa are currently unbanked. This according to World Bank. Those statistics from Statista stuff you could see is just around 60%. Which of course should also be a variable. So what they do is literally, does that mean that the traditional system isn't banking those who ought to be banked? Now, this is one of the first core issues that we have seen from the fintech perspective. And I think I've been honored to sit at the forefront of blockchain in Africa. Why I said I've been honored, because from the investment perspective, you get to see things even before they launch. People come to you for funding even before they even launch. So you already know what's happening in the market. You could see, you could identify the next trend with respect to what's happening in Africa in terms of fintech. Please go to the second part. From the fintech perspective. And I think I've been to sit at the forefront of blockchain in Africa. Why I said I've been honored, because from the investment perspective, you get to see things even before they launch. Good. But then the next one is in terms of sending money. You already know what's happening in the market. I didn't just highlight it here, but do you know that it's cheaper for you to send money from Nigeria to UK than from you to send money from here in Nigeria to Togo? For you to send money from here in Nigeria to Kenya. But away from that, the typical cross-border payment from Nigeria is around 19%, but the average is 16%. But now, what they're trying to tell you is, for every $200 you send, the intermediaries in this country about for Nigeria 19%. Then you're looking at countries like Tanzania, you could see 27%. South Africa 14%. Down to Kenya. Bear with me. There are also some part of Africa whereby sending this money could just be as much as 4%. Something someone could have literally sent through Tron network, and Tron will just charge you $1. But now, what they're trying to tell you is, for every $200 now, this is one of the issues that we like. I have to start from highlighting the problem so I can take you through a proper ride. Please, next one, please. South Africa 14. But then the question is this: is Africa also really ready for blockchain? We are, if it's actually placed right. We are not if we are to go full blockchain. I'll tell you why. So when you decide to build, what's it called? Let's say, for example, you want to build a full blockchain-powered DApp. The processes, for example, usually involves you having your MetaMask or Trust Wallet, then going to the website, a typical Web3 DApp, and then you try to connect your, what's it called? You try to even create your account, that creates your wallet with those dApps, and then you now connect to their website. Look at this process. So when you decide, the typical African is already used to the Facebook model. Let's say, for example, come in, log in, go through my news feed. You understand? And now you're trying to tell this person you have to go and create your Trust Wallet. You have to go, not just create your Trust Wallet, you still have to go and then go to the website and reconnect. All these things are for good, but how many Africans can actually operate? In fact, how many people who are already educated can actually operate that? If we keep taking this particular approach, there won't be blockchain adoption. I remember you talked about smarter frameworks. One of the main things you guys are aiming for is for adoption. And adoption is really, really critical if blockchain is to survive in Africa. But then we are ready if we can combine Web3 and Web2 together. It gives you Web 2.5. And this has been core of our thesis at Ediverse. Majority of the people we are building, they don't even go around screaming blockchain. They just give you a platform about a Web 2 interface with a Web 3 powered backend. And adoption is really, really it facilitates everything. People come over, create do whatever is it they intend to do, and at the end of the day, what happens? Like the even case blockchain. Web 3. I would actually be giving you guys some case scenarios. And this has been I'll be giving you guys some case studies as to how blockchain can easily power financial growth in Africa. So first, in terms of cross-border payments, remember I told you it costs about 16% or 16 to 19%, 16% from Statista and 19% from World Bank. Like for you to send money from Nigeria to like just any other place, like cross-border wise. But now let's look. In adverts, I've been opportuned to actually speak to 3 of these startups. The reason why I keep sharing some of our startups is I'm not here to promote them. No, this is what I know. This is what I've seen work. This is what I've led. So I'm speaking to you out of conviction, based on the deals I led and based on what I'm currently seeing in Africa. One of the things blockchain could literally power is cross-border payments. And to be honest, for Africa to achieve its, should I say, the right success, they keep saying Africa is the next frontier, but for us to grow, a lot of things has to be fixed. And one of them is easy remittance. I shouldn't have to suffer in order to remit to someone in Togo. I shouldn't have to suffer in order to remit to someone in Kenya. And not just that, I understand that there are also other places. There are also other things with respect to logistics, probably having a train from Nigeria that could actually run into other African states. These are also infrastructure that would actually enable us to develop. But then in terms of financials, when you look at this cross-border payment, there are currently a lot of startups in cross-border payments. But the reason why I'm going to highlight BitMama to be specific is I saw a lady build. She started building from 2017. Nigeria that built kept failing. But last year she announced her seed round, her pre-seed round of around $2 million. I actually led the investment, but that's not the reason. Why I led the investment was because her app enables you to send money from here to other African countries. If the person is on the app without you having to worry, and they settle the person in their local currency. But now that's not the most exciting thing is you could literally send your USD to their app. At the end of the day, you could still make payment. All powered by blockchain. So I'm not here to tell you blockchain can power cross-border payment, but I'm here to show you apps that are currently utilizing blockchain to power this cross-border payment. By special grace of God, I'm actually an MBA student with Pontific School of Business and Tech. And one of the issues we've actually seen in Nigeria, for example, is this: access to FX to their app. At the end of the day, you could still make payment. It's a big issue. All powered. People in business, they keep looking out for FX. Not just people. Students who are trying to go back to school, they are looking out for FX. If you really want to access FX as the normal central bank rate of $400, $450, like if you go, the queue you would see, you might end up getting the money in the next 3 or 4 months. Yes, there is a downside to using that of blockchain because you now access, you utilize that of the parallel market rate, that's the secondary market, which is 7 something. But does it work? It does. So I've actually utilized 1 or 2 of these projects in order to actually make my payment abroad, and I need not to actually worry so much about it. Then when you look at Mazuma enables people in Ghana to actually facilitate cross-border settlement. And then you've also got boundless space. Some of these guys are even available in over 30 countries. If I even explain how the scenario works, some of these scenarios, most times, they are not all that so efficient. I've actually utilized, but I've worked so hard this project too, in order to actually make my payment make the process seamless. So for example, in BitMama, let's look at the typical, if I decide to send money now, it means if I have USD, I send, right? I'll have to buy my Naira, send USD. But now, in terms of BitMama, all you need to do is go to your Binance, wherever you're able to buy your distance, send to them, and then facilitate your payment. So literally, manually, this is what goes through my head. They will literally send to their partner over there who accepts USD. Then the partner, so for example, the USD that they sent to them, convert it to their local currency, and then send over. In as much as this thing sounds so manual, these guys have this automated. This is just one instance of where blockchain could literally power financial growth in Africa. Any day you stop worrying about your access to FX, any day you stop worrying about having to send money even to your closest neighbor, it means that there has actually been a growth. Instead of you going to bank to stand in that queue, you could literally utilize right there from your app. You didn't even leave your room. You could literally facilitate that. Then the second use case is blockchain in lending. And then of course green finance. I think this is one part that has been misused. This is also one part that has been crazy. So I would start, my second use case would be, I will start from StakeFed. So StakeFed does something extremely interesting. Right there from your app. Remember people bet, right? But then they are willing to put 500 Naira, hoping to gain 100,000, 200,000. But then at the end of the day, when they lose that money, they lose it. So they started out as a no-loss betting platform. You bet. If you lose the money, like let's say if your bet didn't enter, it's okay. You gain back your money. Have you guys ever heard something of that nature before? Yeah. Only few persons are actually who are that deep into blockchain would really understand this. So let me explain the principle. When they lose that money, they lose it. Now, when you give them your money, there's what we call a staking pool. Now they go to stake that. They go to that staking pool, and then that staking pool gives them what's it called? If your bet didn't enter, interest. You gain back your money. Blockchain gives proper high yield interest up to 8%. Some can even go up to 16%. I know the Luna-ish. Luna was given about 16%, and he was running a proper Ponzi scheme. I wouldn't want to actually talk about that. But when they take it to that pool, This is what happens. Give them your money. There's what called a staking pool. It gives them interest, and then they, like, of course, you've already staked that Chelsea will win, right? If Chelsea loses, what happens is this: the gain that we are made from the pools that we are staked would be distributed to winners, but not to you who lost. So the only thing you get to do is they give you back your initial money. So literally, they're not pairing you to bet against someone, or in like the ordinary system whereby they collect your money. What they are actually doing is literally collect your money, stake game percent, distribute the percentage, like the profits earned to the winners, while to the losers, you just gain back your money. That's literally the power of blockchain. That's just one application, but that's not where everything ended. Now they are building like a lending protocol. So now this lending protocol would allow you to stake your USD, your, like, depending on the tokens that are available on the platform. This is what happens. When you stake these things, these are money you don't use. It gives you an APY, annual percentage yield, that you get to make money from. Now they use that particular money to lend it out to businesses. They use that particular money to lend it out to people who actually need it. And when they do that, these people utilize this business. Those people utilize those money to do their business, and then they come back and refund, like, and then they come back to pay back after a particular moment. Then what happens? At the end of the day, you as a person who staked in the pool, you win. Because a typical blockchain yield is around 78%. I just checked while I was here. The average money you gain from saving your money at the bank is around 0.33%. That's an average savings account. That's according to FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Also. But this is what you're actually having from blockchain. Not just in a decentralized manner, but at the same time, super secure. And then, in terms of green financing, we've got Melanin Capital. I don't know if you guys have seen that of recent, there seems to be green energy craze, like AI craze. But everyone is talking about ESG. How many is your company ESG compliant? Are you offsetting carbon? This is what you actually hold up. But one of the issues we've also seen is this: there hasn't been so much incentives for people to really look towards our climate. In terms of many climate entrepreneurs, some of them are struggling to raise funds. I don't know. That's the truth. People really do not understand it. But what these guys literally do is this: enable businesses that are ESG compliant, to easily raise funds utilizing blockchain. So literally, they could launch the business crowdfunding on the platform. So this is what happens. When they launch it, their investors, people who are already blockchain savvy, they make their investment and then earn a token in return. Then they fund your business. That's actually how they use it. And then they also do what we call credit financing for ESG. Like, they provide credit, allowing those people to actually pay back at a low interest rate. So at a low interest rate, all powered by blockchain. So this is what happens when they launch it. But then the third happens to be the one that I witnessed. So on a regular, when you are in VC, most times you're expected to be in two places in Nigeria. You're either in Lagos, because that's where people are building. That's where they are cutting checks. Or you're in Abuja, because you're close to power. But I actually chose different. I decided to actually stay to base in Jos. And the reason I based in Jos is because I'm seeing the ecosystem is growing. And I feel like it's an ecosystem I could perhaps contribute to. I once read an article online that stated that airtime is the future of payments. And I wonder why we in Nigeria, we never really utilized that earlier. And I realized why. I later got the answer. I can literally send you airtime right now and you receive it immediately. Why can't I come to someone's shop and pay the person with airtime? Any reason, please? Okay, so I found out. The reason is because there isn't a proper way for people to off-ramp from that airtime to real cash. Why we in Nigeria, only a few persons are building out for it anyway. But we came across this startup in South Africa, quite interesting. So what they are doing with airtime is simple, allowing people to purchase, to onboard into crypto, utilizing airtime. And the way they did it is quite interesting. So what they do is this. Let's say the CEO, he wants to purchase BTC, for example, but you've got your airtime. When you log on the app, they give you an opportunity to convert your airtime to main. So main is like an in-platform, a central in-platform token. So when you give them that, they give you a main. Now, there is a percentage of mean to USD. I think it's 0.01 mean to, I think 0.1 USDC. So, on their platform, they've built an on-ramp that would enable people just convert that mean to USDC. Automatically, you already have the USDC in your account. So, with that USDC, you can literally purchase. So, mean is like an airtime. I mean, with that USDC, you could literally purchase any tokens you want. So when you give, but then, if you also want to off-ramp, you can also off-ramp from USDC to airtime at a very discounted rate. And then one of the things I've realized is that they built out a pool of different peer-to-peer traders, people who are willing to accept your your airtime and then return cash. So this has been the secret of their success. But one thing I've realized over time is this: we are heading to the future whereby we will start seeing a lot of things that would come out as a form of transaction. What is one of the things I've realized is that how was money initially? It's just a peer-to-peer value placed on things. Initially, it was just what's it called? Trade by barter, right? I bring this thing. So even the fiat paper you use is just a perceived value. If we can use fiat paper as cash, why can't we use the same airtime, which seems virtual, as a way of transacting? And we've seen people like in Kenya, M-Pesa, allow people to just make payment through their mobile, to their mobile phone. In a way, if you also want to look at it, it's just airtime that they are all transparent. So that's why I asked, is airtime the future of payment? This is a sector personally that I'm really, really looking at. I've seen some guys in Nigeria, ZP or so, trying to enable people make payments with airtime. But this is a clear-cut cases where blockchain has actually powered this, where Byphone Bank has utilized blockchain to enable people on-ramp into crypto. Not just on-ramp into crypto, but even off-ramp. And then we've also seen other cases. We've seen cases where blockchain is actually now being utilized as loyalty point. You guys may know, I don't know, sometimes you go through airline, then they offer you a loyalty point. Have you ever tried off-ramping? Do you know how many millions blockchain are wasted every day? People are sitting on a lot just on loyalty point. But one of the issues is this: there's still no way to off-ramp. These things are money hidden in several places, but no one is able to access it. I've been offered a lot of airtime, is it air miles or something? Like, those things are just loyalty points. I've never used it for once. I don't know. Trust me, if someone comes up with a proper solution today and say you can off-ramp your air miles and use it to purchase this, I'm definitely doing that. Because I can't be paying that much for airtime at the end of the day. The whole loyalty point just lies there. And that's the same thing. There's still no way to off-ramp. So I didn't want to take so much time. I wanted to go straight to the point, highlight the proper use cases, and then also allow you make decisions for yourself. Everything you've seen here, every startup that I've actually got here, these are people I've spoken to. These are people we've invested in. Because I can't be paying that much for airtime. So for us to really get to the point where blockchain will power Africa in terms of financial growth, I didn't want to take so much time. We have to go back to the table, rethink our product, build out a Web 2.5 model that would onboard everyone, whether you're an illiterate, whether you're literate, whether you're blockchain savvy or not. With this, I believe Africa can actually achieve its aim. Thank you so much. To really get to the point. Any questions? We have to go back to the table, rethink our product.
Have any questions? Just raise your hands and then I'll give us number. All right. Okay, sir, you're number one. I need at least 3 ladies. And please check for me people on Zoom connected on YouTube. Please help me get a comment if anybody have any question. If they're raising hands, let them just type the comment. Engage with them to type their comments down there and questions, and then we'll also acknowledge them. All right, number one, sir. Any other person, please answer up if you have questions. Okay, sir, you're number one. We won't leave here if I can't say at least 2 ladies minimum. And please check for we'll be here. On Zoom connected. All right. What you thinking about your questions? I'll let the first person to go first. Thank you. Comment if anybody have any questions, if they're raising hands. Okay, let me do that. I'll type the comment. Engage with them to type their comments down there and questions, and then we'll also acknowledge them. Thank you. All right. Number one, sir. Any other person, please answer up if you have questions. Okay. I've tried to. We won't leave here if I can't say at least 2 ladies. So can you take it a little bit close to you?
I've tried to do a bit of research on STO.
What do you think about your questions? I'll let the first person to go first.
And at the beginning of your presentation, you did mention how you can use NFT to do deed of assignment and stuff like that. Now, in my research, I do find some things challenging. How about the regulatory framework that we have? How have you positioned this technology to actually be in compliance with the regulatory framework that we have? NFT for me in real estate, STO seems to be like the future. Okay, when you compare it to what you have, the real estate investment trust, like you have a couple of assets, you can actually to use it to generate income. So the challenge is just like you have in our stock exchange. Can you actually, because the fear is people, just the way cryptocurrency failed, there's nothing to adjust, there's no regulatory framework. How are you thinking about leveraging on this technology, linking it up to a well-regulated
system
framework that will build trust in people? Because one of the things I've noticed is people really want to explore, but they also don't want to lose their funds until this is done.
Thank you so much. That's a very fantastic question, and I can relate given the fact that I'm also in real estate. Thank you.
Yeah, really. Like awesome question. But if you look at the US, for example, FTX failed. It was touted as one of the most regulated cryptocurrency exchanges. Why did it fail? Have you ever asked that question? Why did it fail?
Thank you
FTX
so much.
highly
That's a very
regulated.
fantastic
In
question.
fact, one of the issues
and I
why
can relate given the fact that I'm also in real estate.
ran the feud on Twitter, the feud on Twitter, I mean, is because there was a rumor. Please don't quote me. But if you look at the US, that FTX Sam SBF was actually talking shit about Binance to regulators. And if you know Binance, I love Binance too, but their model is guerrilla marketing, whereby they go aggressive into a territory. They don't even want to. They don't even care. They don't even care about the whole regulatory framework. So I would just want to correct one particular notion. Regulation doesn't really stop things from failing. One, but regulation would enable more institutional players to come in. Two. And I totally agree with everything you said. We need a proper regulatory framework to actually get everyone comfortable. Knowing fully well that it's government backed, government is actually in support of this. But why I started by highlighting the FTX is this. Whether regulated or not, if it will fail, it will fail. One, that's number one. So regulation in a way doesn't stop people. I mean, the current bank, you see the SVB bank, that currently, these guys are highly regulated. They still failed. So I really want us to, so when we start having conversations around regulations, like I need us to start seeing the two side of the coin. Thereby, that would enable us to stay on the right path. And then secondly, one of the things we've really, one sweet thing about Nigeria right now is there is regulation. There's already plans for proper crypto regulation, like proper crypto regulation. And if that actually happens, it would onboard more persons into Web3, more institutional investors would actually come in. Now I'll come to your security tokens and all that. Currently, there are a few places where security tokens you can actually be fully regulated. Have you heard of British Virgin Island? That's actually one place where, for you to offer security token, you have to be registered in BVI and then gain that regulation from there. So, but one thing also about regulation, there's also a good part to it. The good part to it is when it fails, the government can now come in and question what happened, who and who will be held responsible. I don't know about SBF, but I don't think he has been arrested, right? Have you heard of British Virgin Island? Probably it might happen in the future. Actually one place where he has been to offer security to. Are you sure? Okay. You have to register in BVI. Okay, probably house arrest, but he's actually not where he should be, but he lost billions of money. Yes, exactly. No, yeah, he's actually not where he should, but he's lost billions of people's money. But for us, in terms of the real estate part, this is what I actually expect. When Nigeria engage with proper stakeholders in blockchain, which I believe some of them are sitting in here. One. Now, together, they can actually create a proper security framework. But the first step is regulating the crypto itself properly, so that more institutional investors. I mean, I've been opportunity to be on the institutional side of things, but look at how we do our investment. We do equity and tokens, just together. I don't know if you understand. So, both to be on the safe side from the equity part, we do gain. Then from the token, when majorly we just want to do tokens. but they aren't proper. Now, together they can don't get me wrong. We also do only tokens. If we also see people who really understand how these regulations work. So I won't say I have a proper direct answer to you, but the answer I gave you is like a two-sided of coin. With regulation, things that will fail. But it would actually enable people to be more comfortable interacting with something, and I hope that still works out. Thank you. We just want to do tokens, but they aren't proper. Don't get me wrong.
We also do naira that
we also see people who really understand
this
how
is a
this
part of a fiat currency.
So
how do you think we can actually leverage on that?
Thanks. That was a very good question. I'm not actually. What I'm going to share now is my personal opinion. And I hope when Inera started, when it was launched at first, there was this spike. Like all of a sudden, we are hearing about millions of transactions processed and all that. But then after a while, it failed. So what happened was, like, I would answer you, how do you think we can easily leverage? Because it lacked interoperability. Thanks. That's an very good question. Now, people already people already in the crypto world. People already interacting with USDT, please. USDC. If Inera was actually made to just interoperable, like just with USDT alone, people who are moving crypto money will be moving directly to Inera. Hence, there will be a spike in usage. And that was why there was this latest, I don't know, I think a publication that was made. People are, like, I don't know where I actually know, but they are currently, what was stated was that they are exploring the option of making Inera interoperable. If that can actually work, trust me, Inera will work. Because you don't see people move their money directly from, and Nigeria becomes even more accountable of how much flows in because a lot of things goes on like untaxed. Like young people are busy trading. Nobody is actually taxing them. But abroad, people make a hell of money from there. People trade every day and people pay tax. One of the countries I love, bear with me, is Portugal. If you hold your cryptocurrency for over 1 year, you don't get to pay tax on it. And then they still have favorable tax laws with respect to how much. So Nigeria alone is looking out. I can't put a particular figure as to how much we are losing just because we are utilizing. We are not just tapping into this crypto. So if just one thing abroad, make it interoperable, allow people. Like I work with AWS, and now we want to launch our own stablecoin called USDA. Allow us to be interoperable with the Inera. Allow people to move money between that. It will spark. Like it will spark so much transaction. Like even Nigeria alone would. So that's one way. Thank you. We're not just tapping into this crypto. So
I think we have a question from. We're trying to wrap up from one of the viewers on the YouTube. Okay. And then just before then, we have a game, and you're going to be winning about 2 NFT products from Uniccon. All right, and then this is how the game goes. There is a picture on our Instagram handle right now, right? If you go on our Instagram, so there's a picture there. You need to be able to find a token infused in that picture. Once you find it, circle it. And send it to our DM Smart AfriLab. So once you send it there, if you get it right, yes, then you win that. Okay. However, the second question is coming from Bartholomew Bassey, one of the YouTube audience. How can blockchain help the e-commerce market in Africa in terms of payment?
Okay. So I don't want to shout accept crypto as payment because there is a lot of issues just accepting crypto. The volatility of crypto makes proves to be a barrier as to why people may not easily accept it. But you ask, what about stable coins? How many persons can easily on-ramp into stablecoin? For an example, in Nigeria, we know how few persons here on-ramp into stablecoin. You have to do a P2P. I don't want to one of those P2P. You can't even do direct from your account. There is a lot because of the should I say the ban on it, just to interact with those crypto stuff. But there are ways. One way I've actually seen this work out is with a startup in Kenya called Nuzo. This is actually a deal I'm looking forward to making. Yeah, it's a deal I'm looking forward to making because we couldn't get in on the first round, so we're aiming for the next round. So what he's actually doing is this. One of those P2P. You can't even do direct. When you come onto the platform, you purchase something in your normal currency. he now offers you a loyalty point. Those loyalty points can be redeemed for anything you wish to purchase if it's up to the amount in real time. This is actually blockchain in action. So when he launches his those loyalty points will become his token, allowing people to easily make purchase on the platform if it works, and then easily also off ramp, like when it's already trading. So yes, you can literally utilize blockchain payments, but you can literally utilize blockchain in accepting payments. But it can't always be in the usual cryptocurrency token without volatility affecting it. There are people who offer USDT, what's it called? There are people who offer USDT payment option that would easily enable people make payments in USDT. If that works, you could also utilize those persons. But there might be barrier as some countries may not easily interact with it. So, and then another one is through crypto-powered cards. In the usual cryptocurrency token without Bitmama, for example, offer crypto-powered cards. And then we've also seen this startup that has been making so much buzz, Payday. They just closed their $3 million raise of late. They allow people to make payment. Like, in a way, it's a crypto-powered card because you could literally make payment around every part of the world that accepts Visa or MasterCard. So Bitmama offers that. Payday also do that. So these are a few ways, because at the end of the day, blockchain has always been about. He initially started out with payment to move payment. How can we take away the power of money from the government and then bring it up to ourselves? So these are just few ways they can actually utilize in e-commerce payments. You could literally make payments.
All right. I think we've come to the end of this session. For me, I don't know if we have any other questions, but okay,
awesome.
The last questions we're going to be having for the session. Thank you.
Has always been about initially.
Good day. I go by Kenneth. I really appreciate your session so far today, and especially the part when you talked about cross-border payments, because I'm a dev myself and I'm really big on cross-border payments. And the other part you talked about, which I was really in tune with, was the onboarding the next billion users we're talking about. So you did mention a couple of startups, crypto startups who are trying to onboard the next billion users, and you said they are going to fuse Web2 and Web3, and you coined it a term called Web 2.5 here. So I wanted to know my question is in two folds. I want to know more about these companies and also what strategies they are using to because from what you're saying, they're kind of like abstracting some of the core, very ugly UX of Web3, where you have to get a wallet, store your private keys and all that. Yeah, essentially abstracting that. So in what ways are these companies, should I say, doing that? Are they going through the usual Web2 way, where you have to have a password and this thing, like the way Binance does it, where they basically manage your crypto and all that? So is that how they do it, or they are doing it in a new way with the EIP 4337 for account abstraction? So I wanted to throw more light. My question may come from a dev perspective, but I just wanted to get more light on what the companies in Africa that are doing, what the companies in Africa are doing to kind of like onboard the next users without going through the ugly UX we currently have in crypto now. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. But first, disclosure: I'm not a dev, so if you're expecting anything technical, I'm not going to give one. But so what they actually do, to be direct, is they literally allow people to log in just the same way Binance does it. The problem with Binance's issue: Binance blockchain is private, it's in-house. But these guys are utilizing blockchains like Tron to actually facilitate that payment. I don't know if you understand. Like Bitmama, for example, utilizes Tron. Thank you so much. And then they also offer other available
not a
networks.
dev.
I actually don't know how they go about the whole functional part. But as a user, when you come on Bitmama, for example, you just sign in, like your regular stuff. So what they actually, when you make payment, you don't need to start connecting your wallet to transfer to USD first to do this thing. They handle that back end. How they do that, I don't know. But me, as a user, what do I care? That my money moves from point A to B without me having to worry. Then secondly, in terms of their strategy to onboarding the next billion users, by utilizing an easy UI and UX, one thing they've done is this. They've made everyone comfortable around the product. So you don't need to worry Web 2, Web 3, it's no longer a question. But then the other part is through what we call crypto education. This is the most important part. One time I was in Kano for a blockchain event, because that's one thing I love about working with Gedano, for example. They go to the rural part. Now, I saw these guys called Bitcover. Guess what? They teach people crypto in their local language, in Hausa. That was the most exciting thing I ever saw. I've made everyone comfortable. And then you get to see these people. You don't need to worry. Talk to you about blockchain, and then you are shocked that they know that much about blockchain. Because while we are busy thinking it's only the top 1%, top 20%, some people in that Kano, deep down part of Kano, they are doing the lost work over there. So these are just the two ways. First, an easy and simple UI. They abstract it. And then secondly, I know you highlighted about the new latest model, but I've not really seen any platform currently utilizing it. Because I know after the whole centralization failed, everyone now expected people to perhaps utilize their blockchain wallet, like their core blockchain wallet, it's a non-custodial wallet, their non-custodial wallet directly to what's it called, with to interact with centralized platforms. I've seen people actually doing that, but I've not seen a very popular platform doing that. What does that tell me? That we are still in a way in Web 2 phase. That if we are to onboard Web 3, it still has to be Web 2.5. So that's actually my approach. Thank you. I don't know, Dev. I know I didn't give you a satisfying answer from the technical part, so you have to bear with me. But that's the answer. Thanks.
Thank you so much for your time, the speaker. We really want to say thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Yeah, I'm going to share later on the contact of the speaker for networking, and of course we're going to be having a networking session pretty much after the event. You are very free to share contacts. Share ideas together. Two things, that I picked, especially from the question around the real estate as well, talking about policy documentation, statutory compliance, regulatory issues, every technology that has been built, every product that has been built, policy run after them. That's what I've noticed, right? Because we never envisage what is going to come for us. Then we did not prepare. It's like BCP model. It is not every BCP model cannot cover every futuristic product. So the run after, same as policy. Policy is going to run because tech itself is disruptor. So policy always run after. And then you also spoke about what you saw in Kano, whereby people were being trained in Hausa. Of course, this is one thing that Uniccon idea also aligns with. Building solutions without altering your cultural identity. I think this reaffirms the vision and the culture mission of Uniccon. A round of applause again for the speaker. Thank you. All right, if you see what you have on the stage, everybody, this is on our Instagram handle. Can somebody check what's on the chat if it's for us? Of course. So this is a picture. In here, there is a token infused in this picture. If you get it, we're going to give you two awesome gifts from Jacoa. All right, so once you get it, just come up, take the picture, circle it, and forward it, DM it into our Smarter Free Lab inbox on our IG. And then, if you get it right, of course, you get a gift. On the next agenda, as we move forward, we're done with the Q&A. We really need to move with supersonic speed right now. And we are going to the launch and the demo in proper. Okay? And then to do that, someone conceived the whole idea, the vision of these products. And when I met this man, we will talk. And then, the conversation we have, sometimes it baffles me tremendously because he doesn't believe in impossibility. And then we'll say, Ronald, Microsoft do these things. He has a very calm gesture. Google are building it. We will build it. We have our own infrastructure from scratch. And I'll be like, okay, if at a point I'm already shaking my mind like, this one I just think, then when it says it, then I get back, I'm like, yes, we will. If you think we will, then we will. You got me 100%. And then that's the mindset a builder carries. And today, that person that carries that mindset is no other person than Dr. Shooks. Join me with a round of applause as I invite the chairman Uniccon Group for the unveiling and launch of Smart Africa. You're welcome. Then when it's easy, then I get back, I'm like, yes, we will. If you think we will, then we will.
Thank you. Let me
got me 100%.
System protocols. Welcome everybody once again. I don't want to unveil this alone.
That person that carries that mindset is no other person.
Let me call on the
than Dr. Join me with a round of applause as I invite the chairman
from
Uniccon
NCS.
for the unveiling and launch.
Somebody from NIDA, please.
Somebody representative from NIDA, please come forward.
And from NCS, please.
Let's stick it out a little bit. Understood. Yeah, we can move it here. Somebody representative from NIDA. Good. Please come forward. This looks good.
Okay. On behalf of Uniccon Group, we unveil this. The name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Another round of ovation. You see this project is a deal breaker for Africa. You don't understand why. A lot of us have been hearing the aspect of crypto. I want to thank John Paul for doing some justice. But let me say this. I think in a little while we will see some demo. We call it First African Blockchain. So this is Smart AfriChain. You know, another round of ovation. Blockchain technology that is built this on project, the chain. Crypto is just one deal breaker built on the chain. Then we have NFTs. He mentioned the Smart Afriverse, like the version of Metaverse. Now, somebody earlier from the congregation mentioned that he uses blockchain technology to protect his device. We're talking about cyber security. The safest and the best solution to protect or to guarantee you of safety in your web product is blockchain because of its decentralized nature. And the notes. So it's very difficult to have it compromised, unlike the normal Web 2.0. So we talk about how does it impact on the average Nigerian, the masses. We're expecting a deal breaker in terms of our economy. If Africa assess from the targets we're looking at around 250 billion US dollars, or even more minimum. Imagine if this phone hits into Africa, how does it transform us? Now, Africa before now, let me release the gentlemen that accompany me. Please, a round of ovation for them. Now, before now, if anybody tell you that Africa, do you know why Africa has less than 5% a kind of a relevance in the global projection of 1 trillion? Because we are not ready. If the few persons are ready, the masses, somebody's talking about the Kano. That is only Kano. How about the Jos? How about the Ocean States? How about all of that? Then you talk about the Ghana, South Africa, Tanzania, and the rest of that. These are the people that made up the 1.3 something billion population of Africa. So if few individuals are using it, they can't even make up to 0.5%. So if we must strive in this blockchain technology, which is one of the Industry 4.0 technology. So it's telling you that, look, everything future, if you hear Industry 4.0, that fourth industrial revolution, and if you're hearing emerging technology, what is saying that certain technologies have expired or we continue to fizzle out, and this is the way forward for the next couple of years until maybe we don't know what next will come. But for now, the future is pointing at this. So, and if we're not ready, that's why Africa, Nigeria is looking at how do we make, that's the origin of digital economy. And not only Nigeria that have that position or that office, even in Europe. So most countries these days that are looking at tapping into digital economy or the 4.0 industry must have that department or that ministry called digital economy. So as Uniccon Group, we are trying to bridge technology gap in Africa. So we say, okay, we don't have any product tailored to the need of Africa or Africa in mind. No blockchain technology product was built with Africa in mind. Let's even take a look at the metaverse. You can't even see any Africa attire. You want to buy any stuff, any piece. Do you see anything that looks African? So you know. So they don't have inclusion. And John Paul mentioned about accessibility. How do you make transactions? Of course, in the blockchain, you don't make transaction with your normal fiat and all that, the fiat. So there must be means. And if you tell African crypto, everything, the protocols, the MetaMask and all of that, they get discouraged. So they see you as a scam. So you must understand our market, you must understand Africans. So before we build a product that will be accessible to them. So we'll be knowing more how average unemployed youth or Nigerian can make money from NFT. I was reading, Mercedes-Benz sells more NFT cars than the physical cars. So how about innocent? Are they aware that this thing is going on? So they see. How about the artists, the musicians, and every other thing, even the artworks? So a normal photographer in Nigeria can be richer than where if he taps into NFT. So this is what we're preaching. So NFT is just one. Then the metaverse. Last year we were in Dubai, the GITEX. So I was so marveled the way Dubai is taking their technology. Some of the gentlemen that came to meet us from government. Look, everybody in Dubai now is thinking after having physical presence, they want to also have their presence in the metaverse. So they have metaverse address as well. So it means, in fact, you can attend functions in the metaverse. So how will Africa be included? And you need some device like the VR headset, the AR and all that. Now, average Oculus, the Meta product, costs between 400,000 to 500,000. Africa is hungry, so where do they have that luxury of money to make it? So you will see there will still be that gap. So, but we say, okay, if we really mean business, then we should make our own VR headsets that are affordable for Africans, and we made it. And we're expecting to launch it and open it up for pre-order, which is going to be like up to 500 to 800% cheaper than normal VR headset that is in the market. So when we say we're targeting inclusion up to 25% by 2027, we mean business. So blockchain, we're empowering more developers to build on our blockchain, narrow to the needs of Africa. We're talking about the Web 2.0 and Web 3. We already displayed an example for that, the Smart Afri, where transactions, somebody asks of e-commerce, how does it come in? We've already shown something. So for the first time for e-commerce in Africa, e-commerce and the blockchain technologies merging together, you can buy physical as well as buy the NFT product or version of it. I believe some demo will come up shortly. So it's a kind of accessing this technology without boundary at ease. So we are very happy to have come this far. It's not all about the venture aspect of it. It's all about the impact, the inclusion. So an average African can access this technology without really needing some special training and all of that. So, gentlemen, we're very happy to tell you that this technology that is launched, we're going to see the impact soon, and we need everybody's collaboration, patronage, and inclusion and partnership on this in order to thrive. Thank you very much once again. Special training and all of that. So, gentlemen, we're very happy to tell you that this technology that is launched, we're going to see the impact soon, and we need everybody's collaboration, patronage, and inclusion and partnership on this in order to thrive. Thank you very much once again.
Yeah, fantastic. So officially, Smart Afri Lab, and we're hoping for business. To this end, we are going to be. Does anybody have the answer to the Instagram puzzle yet? You do? Did you send it across? Yeah. Okay. Right? You have it. So please, the creative unit, please try to evaluate and review the answer. Check the DM. Something has been sent across there. Let's see if he wins. And yes, please, let's quickly run the the demo of the Smart Afri Lab. Yes. Inviting Hiva. Did you send it across?
Thank you once again, everyone. So we just have a quick overview of our product, and then
right, you have it. Please, the creative unit, please try to evaluate and review the answer. Check the DM. Something has been sent across there. Let's see if he wins. And yes, please, let's quickly run the demo of the Smart Afri Lab. Yes. Inviting Hiva. Did you send it across?
all right, so I was saying we have creatives are able to make business from. You have your artworks, you can sell them, you have your music clips, you can have them on there, and people that resonate with your work can come in and make purchases. So part of what we're doing here is we're going to have a brief insight on that. All right, I was saying we have smartafrinft.com. So on your phones or for those of us who have laptops, you can just write it down in your spare time. You can check it out. Can come in and make purchases. So part of what we're doing here is we're going to have a brief insight on that. All right, so each of these artworks are going to be placed on our NFT marketplace. And so when you buy the NFT, we're also going to have a physical artwork given to you, and vice versa. So you can also buy the physical artwork and we'll have the NFT sent to your wallet address. It's a process that will run you through in case it gets complicated, and we can assist you achieve the final outcome. Okay, so while that is loading, okay, let me just kick off. So there are artworks here, and even though you don't purchase now, you can indicate interest, show of interest, and we can have that given to you. And then towards the end of the event, you can actually purchase the NFT, or you can make a physical transaction and we'll have the NFT delivered to you. So we have this beautiful artwork here. Those who have laptops, you can just write it down in your spare time. Okay, I think we have some issues here. All right. Okay, I don't think we have that yet, but I'll start off with this. So, any indication of interest here? This is going at 26,000. Right, so, each of these artworks. So, if anyone has interest in this on our NFT market, you could so key in and NFT, have the physical and the NFT version as well. The physical artwork given to you. So we have this. So this goes for 26,000 naira. NFT sent to your wallet address. No discount, unfortunately. Get complicated, and we can assist you. Okay. Achieve the final outcome. I don't know. Okay, you have a question. Okay, go ahead. Yes, that's the idea. This is just a showcase of what can be done.
Yes.
And then down the line, if you have interest, you can definitely.
So for people that want to tokenize something, I've been thinking of something I can tokenize. My head is very big. So is it possible to tokenize my head?
You could tokenize even your entire body part. Those who are interested will buy it, and in terms and conditions, you decide with your audience what you need to do. You can make a physical. So I think we are not able to deliver to you. Display. So we have this beautiful artwork here. Right, go ahead. Okay, I think we have some issues here. All right. Yes. Okay, I don't think we have that yet, but I'll start off with this. So, okay, so any indication of interest here? This is yes, we have a fully functional marketing team that is going to also assist you achieve your goals. So even though you don't have marketing power on your own end, we are definitely going to come in and assist you in marketing your product. So we have this. This goes for 26,000 naira. No discount. Just on the website, I think we'll try to get that up now. So smartafrinft.com. So smartafrinft.com. You can create your NFTs there. Okay. And you can also share that link with people that you think might be willing to purchase those NFTs that's as well. The idea. This is just a showcase of what can be done.
Yes.
And then down the line, if you have interest, you can definitely.
So for people that want to tokenize something, I've been thinking of something I can tokenize. My head is very big. So is it possible to tokenize my head?
You could tokenize even your entire body part. Those who are interested will buy it. Okay. And in terms and conditions, you will decide with your audience what you need to do. You can make. So I think we are not able to. Yes, there are. Of course, the blockchain operates with gas fees. So we are charging you absolutely nothing to upload your artwork. But the gas fees on the blockchain is what you would have to pay. Yes. So down the line, when we integrate fully with our Smart Afri chain, the gas fees are going to reduce by a very hefty percentage. But for now, it's running partly on the Ethereum blockchain, so the gas fees are going to be concurrent with the blockchain gas fees. Marketing power on your own end, we are definitely going to come in and assist you in marketing your product. This goes for 26,000 naira.
While that is going on.
Just on the website, I think we'll try to get that up now. So smartafrinft.com. So smartafrinft.com. You can create your NFTs there. And you can also share that link with people that you think might be willing to purchase those NFTs as well. The idea. This is just a showcase of what can be done. So it looks like you're down the line, if you have interest,
once you win, so for people that want to do tonight, give me one. I've been thinking of that. If you don't give me a one, I'm going to read it tonight. My head is very. You understand? So just so you know, have it at the back of your mind, at the back of your mind.
Give me your entire body.
Legit about the process. Okay.
Yes, they are. Of course, the blockchain will pay with gas fees.
That's good now.
We are charging you absolutely nothing to for the gas fees on the. All right. So, while this is still going on, if there's still interest in this first piece, you can indicate by a show of hands. The gas fees are going to reduce by Then we also have our Smart Afri chain, which you can visit at smartafrichain.com. So that's where our developers will have the ability to build their own blockchain products. And to do that, you have to be a developer, so you have to register, fill in a little form, register, and you'll be given access to the sandbox where you can design your projects, play around it, and deploy it on the chain. So it's simply go to smartafrichain.com and you can have access to that. All right, so for further insights on the whole Smart Afri Labs project, the white paper, details of all the projects, you can visit smartafrilabs.com. So smartafrilabs.com will give you all the insights to the project, what it's about, the white paper, the technical documents, everything else will be there. And also our partnership form will also be there for those of us who are interested in becoming partners of the project. So if there are any questions, any further questions, I will take them now.
That's good. All right, please, if we have any questions, I'm passing this across to us all. If you have interest,
right, so,
just signify.
On,
I think we have a winner for our contest.
This first piece, you can indicate
right?
By a show of hands.
Okay, it needs a minute.
All right, so we have the Smart Afri NFT, currently up, NFT marketplace. So that's where our developers will have the ability to build their own blockchain products. So on and to do that, can we go down a bit? Developer, so you have to register, fill in a little form. So you can simply log into register and that domain, and NFTs will be displayed. We can't log in here because we don't have a wallet connected. But on your devices, you can log in and you'll see the NFTs there in smartafrichain.com, and you can have access to that. All right, so for further insights on the whole Smart Afri Labs project, the white paper, details of all the projects, you can visit smartafrilabs.com. So smartafrilabs.com will give you all the insights to the project, what it's about, the white paper, the technical documents, everything else will be there. And also our partnership form. All right, okay. So I think this is being mirrored in becoming partners of the project. You would have to have a MetaMask wallet in order to access the marketplace. So the setup process you could simply follow by installing MetaMask, and
we have a winner for our contest.
You would have that created for you.
Right?
So for more insight, we have a Discord community which you can simply join, ask us questions, and we'll guide you through all the processes as they come. And also, towards the end of the event, please stay tuned. We would have our metaverse for users, for the audience to actually test out towards the end of our event. So, yeah. Thank you. NFTs will be displayed. We can't log in because we don't have a wallet connected. But on your devices, you can log in and you'll see the NFTs there.
All right, so yes, towards the end of the event, we're going to be having some virtual reality stuff like that, so you can explore our own smart free verse, just like the metaverse. So the winners. We have 7 winners, but just 1 winner out of the 7. I mean, 7 people got it right. Okay, let's start from the.
All right. Okay.
Okay, there is a question from the YouTube from Queen Mo. Queen Mo says, "Can blockchain help the marketing industry in any way?" All right, that message or the answer I'll pass to the speaker. That's John Paul. But before then, let me quickly announce the winners. So the 7th person was John Macaulay. You got it right, but you came in late, since we can only have 1 winner. The 6th person is Hawa Yahaya. She also got it right, but she came a bit in late. The 5th person is Ibi. She got it right. Oh, he got it right, but came a little bit late as well. Number 4, if I haven't called your name, you might probably win it. A little bit of suspense. Abu Atik. You got to arrive a little bit late, and then you leave number 4. And the third person that got to arrive but came a bit late, Dr. Sigali. You got to arrive but came a bit late. Oh, you are Dr. Sigali? Oh. Some people got here earlier before you, and I'll tell you the time. So the person, the number 1 person, the time he came in, perhaps you know, your network. Kenny. She got it right, or he got it right, but a little bit late. And the winner, before I call your name, you already know yourself. Be prepared to share this thing. Otherwise, I will call half of your name. I will not call the full. So the winner came in around 11:58 a.m. Right? And it's LP Eaters Club. Who is LP Eaters Club? LP Eaters Club. You're the woman? Okay, maybe online, please. LP Eaters Club. If you're online, please signify. It's a good thing that I'm going to be the one to help you collect it physically. You understand? So I would even like that you're online. Just stay here. And then we'll have a negotiation before I give it to you and be like, I'm sending you a copy of it. A round of applause for LP Eaters Club. All right. So, John Paul, a question came around for you. Maybe we can run that really quick. And then it says that, can blockchain help the marketing industry in any way? Right? I don't know if we, yeah. Can blockchain assist or help the marketing industry in any way?
Yes. Okay, so during the course of speaking with startups, I've actually come across 2 startups. One, like what they actually do is to utilize blockchain tokens to incentivize people to join their platform. So that's one. And if you look at marketing, for example, most of your favorite startups, they offer what we call referral programs. Now, what does that referral programs do? Like most time they tell you, invite someone and gain so amount, 1,000 naira or so and all that, and that's a marketing plan. So with blockchain tokens, like with cryptocurrency, for example, you could literally incentivize users to actually join your platform. There's even a platform called Cassava Network. So what Cassava Network does is this: different brands into its platform. So with these brands can easily utilize Cassava Network's community to get more users for the program. So you could literally create a task, go on Twitter, like when they say go on Instagram, like our post. If you go there and set up the task, for example, this is what actually happens. You start seeing people start interacting, because the more they interact, Cassava Network gives them what we call CB coin, hoping that in the future they can easily redeem the CB coin for money. What actually led me into blockchain at first was because of writing. I don't know if any of you guys did Steam. So what Steam did was, when you come and write for Steam, if someone likes your article, they upvote you. When they upvote you, they give you coin. That was how I got it. So that was how I actually got into it. It was the incentive. So the incentive part of blockchain be leveraged for viral marketing. And viral marketing works. Referral marketing works, provided there's an incentive attached to it. So yeah, I've also come some guys using bots to enable people, but that's mainly blockchain marketing. Like to enable you sell your tokens and then onboard people to get more of your tokens. Like it's a very, very it's quite a complex concept, but that's just a second use case to it. I hope I answered the question though. Thank you.
Thank you. A round of applause for John Paul. To join the community that we are building, guess what? If you're here today, you're going to have a free token of Smart Afri Lab. Right, you can have a free token. All right, and I think most of the tokens have been benchmarked or regulated by USD. And so this is actually a whole lot coming for you. I don't want you to be like me back in the day that somebody dashed me 1 Bitcoin. And I use it for charity. At that point, actually, I didn't know I had village people problem, to be sincere. Do you understand? So it was later when I found out that I figured it out. I'm like, okay, I saw why this is. Because there is nothing on earth that would have actually made me do that. And then, so you're not going to be like me, share the same story like you've got some village people problem. I bet you want to do this. So for you to access it, it's pretty simple. You need to open up a MetaMask account on our website, Smart Afri Lab. Once you open it up, then join the, you're going to send the, what is it called? Wallet address. Sorry. You send your wallet address to our Discord. This is the CTO. Oh yeah, tell us what to do.
All right. So once you create your wallet account, your MetaMask wallet account, you get the wallet address, and then you go to our Twitter, Smart Afri Labs, or you go to our Instagram, same Smart Afri Labs as well. And then you just mention that you're a part of the event, and you can drop your wallet address there. Or to stand a better chance, you can go to our Discord, because we're trying to build a community, right, of like-minded individuals. So our Discord, you drop your wallet address there, and you get your... Yes. All right, thank you.
So we understood what he just said now. According to what he just said now, we heard him, yeah? There's no point to repeat it. So you don't want to claim village people problem. This is the time for you to, because you have a free token. And I think you should just align with this opportunity. For everyone that has come in here today, we want to say thank you. It's been a very pleasant time with all of us all. And at Uniccon, we are definitely excited to host you. A couple of times, we will never know. We'll be expecting to come around some other time as we launch more products. Since inception, Uniccon is able to launch a couple of products. One of the flag bearer of the products that we have is the Omeife, which is the first humanoid robot in Africa. This is the physical representation. If you were here when we launched our Transcorp last year, there is something bigger that is also coming. Omeife as a service is coming in. I'm sure every one of us were familiar with ChatGPT. Tell me, what do you think? How excited are you going to be if you have a voice GPT? Uniccon is coming with some very, very unique things that are not, that looks impossible. But we're not just wired to create impossibilities. We're wired to create impossibilities that is beneficial, that is cutting and solving problems. So it's a deep tech solution provider, providing organization, and they were really committed to that. Afrocentric base and a world base. So instead, I'm going to invite to the podium for the closing remark and vote of thanks. Join me as I invite the GG Ham, Mr. Chris Ebosie, with a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you, Raymond. Once again, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chris Ebosie. I'm the Group General Manager, Uniccon Group. And all of you honor our event. This special unveiling of the premier blockchain in Africa. We thank you for coming, and we look forward to having you next time. We have, like Raymond has told you, we have a lot more coming, and we shall be calling you from time to time to join us. Please join our community. Thanks for coming once again. Goodbye.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chris. We're going to be having a photography session shortly. And then after the photography session, we're also going to be having, guess what? Food and drink, for the stomach. People smile. Kai. There is fasting. That's what I now remember. Please, no serving of food again. Because somebody wants to break the fast just because of... All right, so we're going to be having a networking session. Great minds are here today. And if I were you, I want to ask some people, don't go here without some cards, complimentary card. Hey, hello, bro. What are you into? You would never know what he's into. Just because he's having the Rastafari doesn't mean, if he's not a musician, he's probably a CEO, all right? Engaging people, that's what they do. You met at Uniccon, that's how to do the introduction. Thank you so much for coming. The first photography session, we have the chairman of Uniccon, the representative from NIT there, and excuse me. Please, as I'm mentioning, please come forward, please. All right, please, if you were part of the people that unveiled their token, please come forward. Let's have the first one. And to be accompanied by the guest speaker, John Paul, please. All right, please come forward. Madam. All the unveiling team, please come forward. I got it. Unveiling team. GGM, where is GGM? It's not on. Okay, all right. All right, Uniccon team in the building, please come forward. Please stay. Stay back, yeah. GM, GGM, Uniccon team, CTO, please come forward. Please come in. We'll have this and then we can excuse the guest and then we can have just the in-house team alone. All right, thank you, madam. Please, Uniccon team, remain behind. Uniccon team alone. Okay, yes, you can leave, sir. Thank you. The Uniccon team, if you are here and you work for Uniccon, except you don't want to